Good morning and welcome to United Way for Southeastern Michigan's virtual town hall. My name is Audrey Walker and today we will be providing information and updates about childcare. Make sure to put your questions in the Q&A box if you're watching on Zoom or the comment box on Facebook. We will answer your questions in the last 10 minutes of today's town hall. And now I'd like to give a warm welcome to United Way's President and CEO, Dr. Darren Hudson, to say a few words.
Thank you, Audrey, and good morning, everyone. And thank you for joining us again for our virtual town hall. We know that throughout the pandemic, there's just been a lot of change and a lot of uncertainty. And most certainly when we are thinking about early childhood, childcare options, how we're going to make sure that our children are educated at the quality and the level that we have been used to pre-pandemic, it can be pretty confusing and pretty overwhelming. This is why we wanted to bring our experts from our region to come with us today and share important information about safety, eligibility, and how to find a program that's right for your children, including virtual opportunities. So today we are joined by Renee Paskus and Kelly Gerlinger. Renee Paskus is the lead education specialist for Starfish Family Services. Renee has 17 years of experience at Starfish, beginning her career as a preschool teacher before serving as a curriculum coach. She has a Bachelor of Science degree in early childhood education and is a certified high scope trainer and is early childhood certified. Kelly Gerlinger is the early childhood consultant at Wayne Regional Education Service Agency, also known as Wayne RESA, where she is an educational leader and a catalyst for continuous quality improvement for Great Start Readiness program classrooms throughout Wayne County. She provides support to teaching programs and site administrators to provide high quality preschool and advocates for children, family, and teachers. Kelly has a master's in educational leadership with an administrator's certificate and a master's in early childhood education with an endorsement in early childhood and special education from Eastern Michigan University. We are delighted to have both of you here with us today and looking forward to all that you have to share with us. So without further ado, Kelly and Renee, welcome and take it away.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hudson. It's an absolute pleasure to be here with you. And I'm going to talk to you about the virtual plan that you all know we had to come up with when this pandemic hit. So we wanted to ensure that children and families were still receiving the best care that we could possibly offer to them in our new virtual world. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'm going to show you the virtual learning platform. Oh, no, I'm not, because it's gone. Okay, well, never mind. I'm going to talk to you about that. I had it ready to share with you guys. I'm going to go a different route. Can you guys see this? Can you give me a thumbs up? Okay, so this coincides with our virtual learning, and it's called a storyboard. So all of our families will receive a storyboard once a week with activities on it that coincide with the virtual learning. And rest assured, this child, I had permission to use his photo. Okay, so if you're in the virtual world, you would get this storyboard and it would contain 4 activities on it. So Monday, for example, exploring fossils with Play-Doh. And then it will give you a brief description on how you would conduct the activity with your child, because the teacher would explain this activity to the families, and then the family would do this activity with their child. Okay, so there would be 4 different activities on here. Getting ready to write. There is, oh, sorry, going a little bit too fast. An alphabetic search. And then how to make a puppet. Now, all these activities, on Fridays, we have what we call an activity pickup. So you would go to your child's school and you would pick up an activity box that contains all the materials that you would need to complete all of these activities with your child. Okay, so then to get on to the Zoom, you would do just like you did right now. You would click on a link, and once you clicked on the link, you would get into the call just like you are right now. So the platform of the virtual learning would consist of 2 teachers on a call with no more than 4 to 5 children in a preschool classroom, and no more than 2 to 3 children if you're in the infant toddler classroom. So you will go through what you would be like the daily routine in the virtual world. So your teachers would greet you with maybe a welcome song, waving hi to your children, just kind of checking in to see how everyone's doing. And then once all the children have entered into the Zoom, then they will go into a large group, which would consist of maybe some yoga, some different types of exercise, maybe a song. And think about your large group is getting the kids up and moving. And we would love the parents to actually do the activities with the children as well. And then from the large group, you would go into the activity of the day, which is what I just shared with you on the storyboard. So the teacher then would explain the activity of the day to the families, and then the families would do the activity with their children. Because we know we don't want children just, staring at a computer screen. That's something that we always was like telling parents, we don't want children on the computers all the time. You know what I'm saying? And now we're saying, oh yes, come to the computers, because it's the only way now that we can reach our families. And we wanted to still be able to connect with our families. We wanted to still be able to make sure there's learning going on in the houses. And we wanted to get it so that the children and families could see their teachers' faces and start creating these relationships with these children now, so that when our doors do open and we can get back in center, that relationship had already been started. So it's an absolute wonderful platform that we have. In the very beginning, I'll tell you, teachers were a little bit nervous about this, and I'm sure families were too, because they're like, what's Zoom? How do you get on the link? Well, I don't know, but we're becoming experts at it. Even the children now on the Zoom calls, they know what buttons to push when they want to end the call and everything. So it's really been a blessing to have this. And good news is that at Starfish, February 24th, we're starting to slowly open back up to in-person, but we're still being flexible with our families. Where, if they're still a little bit nervous or hesitant about getting back in person, we're still offering virtual learning. So you have that option. When you feel ready to come back in person, then we'll be there for you. So, and I wanted to say too, that with the virtual learning, it's really flexible. So if you're, you'll join 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday. The calls are fairly short. You'll join at the consistent time. So if you join at 9 o'clock, your times would be 9 o'clock Monday through Thursday. But if you have an appointment or something that you need to go to, we're very flexible. You can jump into another virtual call, so your child can be counted as present for the day, because that's very important. And it's working out very well. The teachers, like I said in the beginning, who are really nervous about this, are doing phenomenal with it right now. So it's just another opportunity for you as a parent that you have for your child, so you can help continue their education. So, and I think I covered everything. If you got some questions, go ahead, put them in that chat, and then at the end, we'll go ahead and answer them. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Kelly.
Thank you so much, Renee, and thank you for inviting me this morning to speak with everyone. I'm going to discuss a different opportunity that families have available in our state, and that is the Great Start Readiness Program, which is Michigan's state-funded preschool program for 4-year-old children, which is administered by the Michigan Department of Education Office of Great Start. Our programs provide developmentally appropriate learning in a safe, positive, nurturing environment, promoting social, emotional, physical, and cognitive growth with creativity and language development. Our teachers in GSRP utilize a research-based curriculum that aligns with Michigan's early childhood standards of quality for pre-kindergarten. Our classrooms have consistent daily routines that include group activities as well as daily choice times and outdoor play. There are 2 teachers per classroom, keeping the adult to child ratio to 1:8. All of our GSRP teachers are highly qualified and have degrees within the field of early childhood education. Children's progress and growth is measured and reported in the areas of social, emotional, physical, language, and cognitive development. Progress in content areas also are measured, including literacy, math, science, social studies, arts, English speaking skills. We offer free meals for every student daily, and some of our sites actually provide transportation and or have before and after school care. So you're thinking, you may be thinking to yourself, Kelly, that sounds great, but how do I know if my child qualifies? Well, priority is given to children who turn 4 by September 1st of 2020, but there is availability at some of our sites for children who turn 4 between September 2nd and December 1st. And those children may qualify, especially if they plan on attending kindergarten in the 2021 to 2022 school year. We do have some exciting news in the GSRP world. Back in October, the Michigan Department of Education Office of Great Start and fiscal year 2021 legislation announced that the income requirement for the Great Start Readiness program would be adjusted for this school year. The change means that more children are now eligible to participate in our GSRP programs for free. The income requirement for 2021 has been increased from 250% of the federal poverty level to 400%. So what does that mean in real numbers, Kelly? So basically what that means is a family of 4 could have an income of $104,800 and still qualify for a GSRP program. So say if there's a family of 4 using that same example, made an income of 106,000, this family would still qualify for GSRP, but they may have to pay a small tuition fee to go along with that. Then you may be thinking, well, Kelly, it's February. What do I do? You know, is it too late to enroll my child for this school year? And my answer is absolutely not. There are enrollment opportunities located in schools and childcare centers throughout our Tri-County area. Due to COVID, as Renee mentioned, there are programs that are offering virtual learning opportunities. And we do have some programs throughout the Tri-County area that are starting to or have been offering face-to-face learning options. Just like the K-12 population, GSRP programs have implemented additional safety policies and procedures due to COVID. And I'd like to share with you real quick my screen, if I may, to give you some contact information. Real quick. So this flyer right here, if you travel down I-94, this banner right here may look familiar to you. It is our Young Minds Under Construction GSRP logo. So if you reside in Wayne County, we invite you to contact us at this 1-8333 4-year-old preschool a phone number to inquire about if there are, which programs we have openings throughout Wayne County. If you do not reside in Wayne County, you're welcome to contact this number, and we will also connect you with the appropriate person within the county that you reside. I'm going to stop sharing this for one quick second and switch over to another screen for you. You also can find GSRP opportunities throughout the state. If you were to go to the michigan.gov/MDE website, the Great Start Readiness Program has their own page. And on the page, if you scroll down to the middle, there are some resources for parents. And if you click on this very first link right here, it will take you to an interactive school map. And what it will do is it will show you the different counties throughout our state. You choose the county where you live. Let's just click on Washtenaw, for example. You click right there, it'll provide you with the contact information and actually the website of the intermediate school district that you would want to reach out to find out more information about GSRP programs that may be available in your county. So one more quick thing. So as we know, she may be thinking, like I mentioned, it's mid-February, is it really worth it? And my answer to that would be absolutely. Research shows us that a child that participates in a preschool program, even for a couple of weeks, are better prepared for school academically, socially, and emotionally. So I highly encourage you to reach out to your intermediate school district, or you can call us at that 1-833 4-year-old number, and we'd be happy to connect you with the GSRP program in the Tri-County area. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Kelly and Renee, for sharing so much valuable information about childcare, both for virtual and in person as well. We do have a couple of questions. We're going to spend the next couple of minutes going through some questions here. So both of you had mentioned enrollment and signing up, and Kelly, I know you provided some information. Renee, for the virtual plan and program, how would somebody enroll in that? What does that look like?
Just like Kelly was saying, call those numbers and they'll set you up with it. Because right now within Starfish, I know we're only virtual. So that you would get in connection with the center that your child would attend, and then you would get a phone call from your teacher and she would help get you set it up.
Okay, and so that's true for most child care centers in the area?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure if there was a select few or, so it could be said if I live in Southeastern Michigan and have a child care center that they probably could be providing some sort of virtual learning, or I'd get directed to some sort of virtual program.
Correct.
Okay, perfect. And then as far as that go, we have a question about the income eligibility as well. Is the change just for this year, and how would that affect, next year if the child doesn't qualify this year but would qualify next year?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. And as of right now, we've only been told that the income has been changed for this year. We're not quite sure yet what it will look like next year. We may not necessarily know that information until July or August. Because of everything going on with the pandemic, we didn't actually have this information, like I mentioned, about this school year until October, because that's when our fiscal year for GSRP actually begins. So we may not know, but we do know that there's a wonderful opportunity for more families and more children to be able to participate in a program this year.
And then who qualifies for these programs? I know age group of preschool was mentioned. Is there an age limit? Has it been expanded since there's been more virtual learning happening in the households? Renee, if you want to speak to that.
Okay, can you repeat the question again, Audrey?
Yeah, I was just curious about the age eligibility. I know you had mentioned preschool, and I didn't know if in the virtual environment we're in, if those, like what age groups those.
No, we have early Head Start as well. So we service early Head Start children all the way through preschool. And pregnant moms too. So
that's basically 0 to 4, is that? Okay.
So pregnant moms up until almost 5. Yes.
Okay. Very good. Very good. And then for to register for Starfish, do you have a link or like how would you recommend specifically for Starfish?
Sure. It's actually in the chat box right now. So they could, or they could even just Google Starfish Family Services and it would take you to our website. And from there you can get all kinds of information to support you.
Okay, great. And then you we're talking about Starfish being open February 24th. And then, Kelly, you were talking about care centers being in person. What does the class size look like? Or are there changes, based on scheduling and things like that parents can anticipate?
Sure. I know for Starfish, 50% capacity. We're starting out really slow. We want to make sure we got a handle on the pandemic. And then there's lots of different safety precautions that will be set in place. So yes.
So 50, and then Kelly?
Similar as far as there are a lot more safety precautions, policies and procedures that have been put into place, but that decision is met at a local level. So it's the program's decision in regards to at what capacity that they would like to have their classroom set at. We know that they can't go beyond what they've been approved for through licensing, but it is more of a local decision.
Sure. Okay. I just didn't know, with school age kids, you're hearing all these different types of scheduled. And so I was curious to know if it was a similar thing with Great Start to Readiness and preschool aged.
I would highly recommend any families that are looking for a GSRP program to visit the program website that they're interested in, because they should have their continuity of learning plan posted directly on their website. So that way families can see exactly what safety precautions that the program has implemented in order to keep our littlest ones safe.
Absolutely.
And are centers then doing any sort of like in-person visits, or what does, interviewing look like right now since things are virtual and in person?
What do you mean interviewing?
So for example, like if I was a parent looking for a child care center and I wanted
yeah.
to maybe interview or see the facility, what does that look like right now?
Yeah, I know at Starfish, we're trying to keep as many people out of the buildings as possible to keep the children safe. So I think they would need to call the center that they would be going to and set something up, maybe when the children aren't present.
Okay.
Yes, I would say that I've seen some very creative things being done in our programs, doing virtual tours, where directors or teachers will have their phone and then walk interested
Sure.
families through the classrooms, and a lot of the information, the information that needs to be collected at enrollment is usually done virtually at this point,
Okay.
just to make sure that we're keeping everybody's safety in mind.
And then I know you touched a little bit on income requirements as far as enrolling in programs, but how does employment status impact eligibility? Because some people think they're not eligible because they're on unemployment and vice versa. And I just didn't know if you had some clarity on that. Kelly, if you want to answer.
Yeah. I didn't know if Renee would wanted to speak to that or not. So again, I would highly recommend that families reach out directly to the programs, and they'll be able to walk them through the application and enrollment process. So there are websites available online in regards to if a family is interested in finding out, where their family falls within that, what we call the FPL, the federal poverty level. And there's some wonderful graphs out there. And I believe we actually have one available on our Wayne RESA website. If you go to the GSRP programs and scroll down under parent resources or enrollment resources, we have it posted directly on our Wayne RESA website in regards to what it looks like for various family sizes and various incomes as well.
Great. Okay. And then you mentioned that a lot of in-person centers are taking, specific safety precautions for children. How is that implemented with young children, or what might that look like, Kelly?
Well, you would actually be amazed to see how well our littlest ones are doing with wearing their mask and with social distancing. And so, yes, I think that, they're real troopers. And I think, again, that the best thing to do is just for families to reach directly out to the program, and they'll be able to speak more directly on all the different safety measures that they're doing. But just in my own experience, what I've seen, because I can only visit classrooms virtually.
Right.
So when I am able to visit in a virtual setting, then they're little troopers. They really are. They're doing a wonderful job. I mean, the teachers are as well. They're keeping them, socially distanced, especially for for the programs that are in person. The nap mats or the cots are over 6 feet apart. They're doing, more frequent hand washings. They're sanitizing considerably more. So, yeah, just from my own personal observations, that they really are meeting the requirements.
Great. That's great to hear. And yeah, everybody has been stepping up on the safety front, of course, wanting to make sure that children especially are being safe as well. Renee, I did have a question for you that came up. You had mentioned that there are services or programs available for pregnant mothers. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Sure. We have home visitors that go out and visit weekly with families. So if you are pregnant or you have young children in the house that are not going in centers, these home visitors will come and visit the families and offer them support with whatever the families need.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so if they visit the Starfish website, they can get all that information.
Okay,
And they're
perfect.
given updates as far as like what the centers are going to do when they're in person with the pandemic, so that the families can be, rest assured that their child will be taken care of.
Great. That's very helpful. I know we had a question about that. So it's a wonderful service that you provide. And then there's another question here that was asking if there are bilingual staff that work at RESA and Starfish. You
Yes,
both have that?
yeah, we're both shaking our heads, yes.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so that's another resource. It looks like you definitely have a lot of our questions covered here for sure. And I guess I just would want to ask one last question here to each of you separately. If there's one thing you would want parents to know about either your programs or what they can expect from your programs that we haven't covered. So Renee, if you want to go first.
Sure. Especially with the pandemic, and I know there's so much uncertainty with families, and I just want them to be their own investigators for one. This is your child, so you think of all the questions that you would want to ask and write them down, so that when you do get a hold of somebody, that you can ask all the questions that will make you feel at peace when you send your child in center. And then just rest assured that we want the exact same things for your children. We want the best quality that we can give them, and we want to create these relationships. So we really want you to just call the number and make sure that you're getting your questions answered, and know that we're here for you.
Absolutely. Everything Renee just said holds true. So yes, and just that it's never too late. Like I said, it is maybe mid-February, but many of our programs run through the middle to the end of June. So I encourage families to reach out, because we do have ongoing enrollment at all of our programs. And if for some reason, and if that program that you're interested in may be at capacity, may be full, then there are plenty of opportunities throughout the Tri-County area that will meet your family's needs, whether it be
Great.
virtual or in person.
Perfect. Well, thank you both so much for joining us today. That's all the time we have for questions. Thanks to all of you out there who have put questions to us. And now I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Hudson.
Thank you so much, Audrey. And another special thank you to Renee and Kelly. We're just so glad that you all were able to share this important information with us. As you can see, we had a lot of questions. We anticipate that there will be more. So did want to just share with everyone, you all see us here together, but we work together every day. This isn't just for these town halls. And so we will make sure that we keep the lines of communication open. We also have a number of ways that we can connect you directly to these services as well. So for our Detroit residents, I wanted to lift that you can visit www.connectforcarekids.org, or you can text kids to 47223 to be connected with child care programs in the city. And for those who are in metropolitan Detroit or outside of the city, you can call the Wayne Oakland Macomb Resource Center at 877-614-7328 for help finding childcare programs that are located near you, or you can also go to greatstarttoquality.org/families. As a reminder, if you or anyone that you know is experiencing a need, whether it's housing, utilities, food, diapers, or anything else that you're struggling with, our 211 helpline remains available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we understand that many of you have been calling, trying to get help with your vaccines. So if you are trying to get your vaccine scheduled, you can actually go to a website instead of waiting online, calling 211, by going to michigan.gov/COVID vaccine, and it's all one word. So thank you for continuing to use this service. We appreciate everyone's patience, but yes, we are still here to serve. We are still open 24 hours a day. I also wanted to point you out to the website at unitedwayscm.org/211, which is another way that you can get services directly. And again, all you need is your zip code to be able to get connected to resources. So last but not least, we hope that you will join us again next Wednesday for an update on the Michigan Poverty Task Force with Kim Trent. She is the Deputy Director for Prosperity, Equity, and Inclusion with Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity, known as LEO. You can go to unitedwayscm.org/virtual town halls to sign up for alerts and to find out about upcoming town hall events. And again, we will see you next Wednesday, February 17th at 10 a.m. So again, hats off, Renee and Kelly, for all the work that you're doing and the services that you're providing and taking some risk to be able to get resources to families. It truly matters. And for all of you who are here with us again, thank you so much. And we pray that you are healthy and safe and continue to live united.